Now, Everton have received a 10-point deduction, which has been applied immediately after being found to have breached the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. The punishment is the biggest sporting sanction in the competition's history and sees Everton drop to 19th in the table. So in the relegation zone, they are, though, just 2 points from safety. The club, in a statement, said that they were both shocked and disappointed by the, as they say, wholly disproportionate and unjust ruling, and have said they intend to appeal against the decision. The 10-point deduction in previous years could have cost Everton their place in the Premier League, but as I say, the deduction means they're only 2 points from safety, and they haven't been playing that badly this season either.
Yeah.
Before we get your thoughts on it, this is the thoughts of the former West Ham defender Stuart Pearce, who believes that despite the deduction, they will have enough to stay up.
The one thing I would say in Everton's favour at this moment in time, their last 5 games, they've accrued 10 points from that. If this decision was made 5 games ago, before they accrued those points, with the horrible start that they've had, and they were points adrift at this stage, 6, 8 points adrift from the bottom team or whatever, I think that would have knocked their lights out. Because they've had these 5 games and 10 points, with the points deduction, they're still only just inside the relegation zone. So I think they'll be comfortable and get out of it and be safe, and that's the most important thing for them.
Stuart Pearce, by the way, will be with us at 9 o'clock to chat more on Everton, as well as England as well, because, of course, he was at Wembley last night, part of our talkSPORT commentary team. Do you agree with what Stuart said there?
Yeah, absolutely. Spot on, Stuart, there about, I think it'll motivate Everton as a football club. The first thing I thought of was Marseille, because I joined Marseille when they went through similar issues over finance, and they made the semi-final of the Champions League one particular year and lost to AC Milan, and they lost money. And that was just like, how can you lose money making the semi-final of the Champions League, and being a really good side, and saw obviously all the problems that came with being relegated, because I joined the next year and they were in a different division. And I saw, but the effects on the club were huge, not just that season, but the season after. And it went on to 2 years, actually, because we got promoted the second season. The year we went down, we got promoted. We had to stand in the same division. We were playing to win the league, but to stay in the league we were in.
Gosh.
So if we didn't win it, we had to go down another division.
Wow.
So it was a very complicated situation. This goes, for me, one of the great things that will come out of this, and Everton fans don't, take this personally, but this thing is a good thing for football, where Everton have been run with huge negligence. And forget the new stadium, forget about, the women's team being priced in or the pandemic. The negligence come from ridiculous transfer policy that has got them into trouble.
Well, that's what the independent commission basically based this all on. It was their overspending largely on new players, their inability to sell players, and also the fact that they finished lower in the Premier League than was projected or hoped for. But yes, you're right, the overspending on transfers.
And when you go through some of them, I remember they bought James Rodriguez, okay, he was a star. He was not the player that they paid 20 million plus of ridiculous wages. I was thinking of Alan. Do you remember Alan, who come from Napoli?
Yeah.
Again, huge money. People don't, when they look at the transfer fee, it comes with massive wages as well. You're not paying cheap. You're not getting them for, 60 grand, still it's incredible money, but you'll be paying top dollar, probably top 6 wages to that player as well.
Obviously, Everton are exploring options. They will look to appeal this, and will hope maybe that the deduction will be reduced on an appeal. Further on with this story, it now is emerging that Burnley, Leeds and Leicester have confirmed that they intend to sue Everton for a total, reportedly, of £300 million after the club were found guilty of these breaching financial fair play rules. These are the clubs that obviously feel that they were the mostly impacted by the outcome of this independent commission, with Leeds and Leicester being relegated. Burnley having been relegated previously, they all sort of think that this commission should have been put in place earlier, and therefore they might have survived those relegations in previous seasons. I mean, that's another blow that Everton will not want to have to go down the route of being sued.
The Premier League won't want that at all.
No.
Any clubs pursuing other teams. It's a really tricky one, Nat. I just think that the good thing for Everton is that now they can move forward, and I think they have to take it on the chin as a club, which they will do, I'm sure. and then move forward and don't ever get in this position again. And, you know, there are many challenges. This has opened a can of worms, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
It's also opened the can of worms about Man City and Chelsea and maybe other clubs. You know, they're still investigating one or two others as well.
The problem, you said it, though. The problem is that essentially Everton will feel that they've been a test case then.
Yeah.
And they'll be wondering.
Someone has to be the
I know,
test case.
absolutely. You're absolutely right. And that's where Everton fans will feel that maybe they've been the ones that have been harshly treated in this situation, where they will feel that we've been transparent with everything we've done. We've gone to the commission, we've explored everything, we've explained everything, hoping that the punishment would not have been as severe as it's ended up being.
Yeah. Only problem I have with all this is that if they've been transparent and everything's up and above board, is it's clear as day that you ignored a lot. You must have known that you cannot spend the way you have.
Well, that's true.
And that would be an issue for me as well. I'd be thinking, well, hold it. You've gone, yeah, okay, we've been honest, we've been transparent, we've shown everything, but we've also ignored it. And that's what they did as a football club. The people at the top of the fans had a reason why they were so angry with the people upstairs. You know, and that was because they saw huge negligence of their club. And this has come as a big cost for them. But I do believe in some ways this will motivate every Evertonian and every Everton player to go, two fingers up, okay. Do you know what Luton as a club? I witnessed Luton in that and take a huge amount. I was around them going a lot. And Luton fans took it upon themselves to literally drive that football club and get them. Now we're looking at a club that's in an incredible position, okay. But a lot of Luton fans, it sat really badly for them, what happened to them when they had huge, points deductions put on them.
Well, look, we'll have more on this situation with Everton throughout the show. It is an unprecedented 10-point deduction, which sees them fall into the relegation zone. One thing you said they've got enough, Cass. I totally agree with you. I also think that, unfortunately, for the likes of Sheffield United, Burnley, Luton, who have sort of been struggling, let's say, in this Premier League, that also aids, obviously, Everton's chances, because other teams who are in that relegation picture as things stand, not putting in the performances that you'd be encouraged by. So that's another thing that could encourage Everton, that they can get themselves out of this.